All right, Creed, here's our recovery and mobility flow for this week. I'm going to touch on the upper extremities, so our wrists, our forearms, and our shoulders are what we're going to work on today. So, I'm going to start with some wrist mobility here, some wrist stretches. We're going to start on our knees, on our floors. We're going to point those fingers back towards ourselves here. We're going to expose those flexors here. We do a lot of grabbing in our life. We're grabbing the steering wheel, grabbing the doorknob, holding someone's hand, grabbing a milk jug. We're always using those flexors, so they probably have gotten pretty strong, but also probably have gotten pretty tight, especially using barbells or dumbbells at home. They're heavy. Got to use strong forearms, but we also need to stretch them out. So this is the stretch we're looking at here, making sure we keep the palms flat on the ground. And we're going to lean back, so we're going to drive those hips back just a little bit to find that stretch. It may not take much. And then we're going to hold there for 30 seconds. Then we relax for a little bit, and then hold there for 30 seconds again. We go 3 sets of 30 seconds on these flexors. We're going to do the exact same for the opposite side of our arm, the extensors, the one that make our hands open up. Make sure we have, when we point at somebody, or when we're waving hello, when we're pulling those fingers back, those are those extensors that we're working here. So we also need to stretch those as well. All right? So with this, we're placing those upper hand, so the back side of the palm, on the ground with our fingers pointed back towards us again. And one thing to note here is when we're doing this stretch, we want to think about externally rotating that elbow. So go ahead and internally rotate the elbow real quick. So we're going to internally rotate, and then as we try and externally rotate, we expose the crease of our elbow here, and our biceps would open up to the front part versus us having a elbow that opens up on the back side here. So make sure we externally rotate and then have that bicep and that crease of our elbow facing forward versus the actual bone of our elbow facing forward. And that should increase our stretch there. If that is too painful to do, obviously bring those hands closer to your knees, closer to that center of gravity. You'll have a little bit better control. But if it hurts overall, just place those wrists on the ground. Go ahead, tuck your thumb in, grab your thumb, and then take your wrist. Go bend down just like that. And notice how her bicep and her crease of her elbow are facing the sky. So she externally rotates, keeping that wrist right there. You should feel a nice stretch run up the top side of that forearm and not have to worry about pressing into the ground here. And you would hold for the exact same amount of time, doing 3 sets of 30 seconds on those forearms on the back side as well. Then we're going to touch on the shoulders here. This one is called the sleeper stretch. So it's just like we're going to sleep. We're getting ready for bed here, just like that. We're going to take the arm that is sandwiched between the ground and our body, making sure our shoulders are stacked, our chest is facing the wall in front of us, our legs are stacked here, and then we're going to take that arm at 90-degree angle. We're going to slowly push that wrist to the ground. All right, you should feel a nice stretch around that lateral side of your shoulder, kind of deep inside the shoulder as well. And Mandy has pretty good internal rotation here. All right, so she's getting pretty close to the floor. I don't even think I can get that close to the floor, so this is pretty impressive here. So if your wrist can't get that low, don't force it, don't jolt it down. Those are some small structural muscles that need to be taken care of gently. So as you stretch, it's a slow descent. Once you feel a stretch or a little bit of a pull, stop there. We're holding for 30 seconds, and we're going to go 3 sets each arm here. All right, so we're keeping that theme of 3 sets, 30 seconds with all these moves to keep it simple. So this sleeper stretch can help increase that internal range of motion. So this is really good if we're practicing snatches or any type of high pulls that we do in the gym. It's going to allow us to have better range of motion. So those upright rows we do in our warm-up as well, it's going to allow us to have a better upright row form and a better snatch form and power clean form as well. So the opposite side will look the exact same. Elbow down, bring that forearm forward, making sure we have a nice straight forearm. Don't let that wrist bend. All right, keep that wrist nice and strong. Those are the 2 movements for you guys today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you try them out sometime this week. Happy New Year.